that we have several budget requests. We want to just say that probably the one that stands out the most is the state security operations. That's the $2.5 million. And I think the question that's come up that I'll just answer right now is people just say, is that Mauna Kea? Are we talking about security operations for that? And I guess the best answer that I can give for that is that the state security operations could be for an event like a Mauna Kea protest. It could be for any episode of mass violence or civil unrest or any event that involves official state government leaders or national leaders. And really the state security operations budget request is one that we made last year. It was denied. It didn't make it into the budget, but it's based upon, not based upon so much our own events that have existed in Hawaii, but really based upon recommendations that have come from the Las Vegas shooting or from the Charlottesville protests that had resulted in a woman being run over by a motor vehicle. So really it was a national best practices recommendation that's been coming from different jurisdictions. In other words, the idea is that, well, crime overall might actually be, more or less dropping, not that it's gone, but it might be decreasing. But at the same time, you have these very large events that take place that if there's no contingency fund to take care of that, then that's a problem. And so the experience of state law enforcement in the last few years has been that there's been times when it's not just county law enforcement that's responding to this, but it's state law enforcement. So it's our sheriffs, it's DoCare, it's our investigators at ATG who are responding to that. So that is the reason for the request.
This is $2.5 million that would go into the Department of the Attorney General's budget, correct? It's not to add additional DoCare officers or additional state. Okay, so $2.5 million is about the budget for DoCare total for, quite a large number of officers. What are you talking about doing with it?
So it's not additional staffing, it's overtime, it's travel, it's equipment.
But just for the Attorney General?
No,
not for the actual...
it's for distribution to all of the state agencies. So it's not just ATG. It'd be ATG would have, if the appropriation were approved, ATG would have the appropriation, but then it would go to just for distribution to the sheriffs or DoCare or the other law enforcement agencies. That was what happened is that when there at times when there have been large-scale events. So, for example,
APEC.
any sort of large event that's going to be right, APEC or something like that. Oftentimes, that's just not in the budget, and it's definitely not in a state budget. It's county law enforcement sometimes budgets for this, but it's not really in